Welcome, everyone, to episode 301 of the Constantly Calibrating podcast. As always, I am your host, Josh Silverman, joined by my co-host, Justin Stanley.
Hey.
Joining us this week are the co-founders of Shotcall, Gordon Li and Riley Auten.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, guys?
How are we doing tonight? It's for us, like, this is, as I said in the little intro, it's episode 301, and it's weird to now be in the 300s. You guys are our first guests post 300. So
we're honored.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's a good time. I'm glad to have you guys on the show. We met at PAX West.
PAX West.
It was
3 or 4 weeks ago.
It's already 4 weeks ago. I know because my kid had a doctor's appointment like the day after, and I had to get results for that like literally right before we started. So it's like it's fresh in my mind. So we met on the last night. Good old Elephant Castle. Mutual friend of ours, Kevin Wallace, the wonderful Kevin, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Come meet these people. They're guests. They're going to be guests on your podcast soon."
That's Kevin. Sounds like Kevin right there.
It's literally a Kevin moment. And Gordon, you are literally the first person I think who I've ever talked to about podcast appearance who emailed me first. Whereas,
initiative,
initiative, proactive. I appreciate it. But for people who are tuning in, tell us a little bit about yourselves, who you guys are, and who you represent.
Yeah, so we're with Shotcall, and so Shotcall is a platform that connects content creators with their fans through video games to kind of create a new form of engagement where now, as a fan, you can play with your favorite content creators, your favorite pro gamers directly in-game with them and on stream as well.
Yeah, we met each other at Georgia Tech. We were next door neighbors freshman year. Had some good times together there. Went through a bunch of computer science classes and just really hit it off. We both kind of had a love for gaming, and so that's something we talked about quite a bit. And so then finally our senior year, we decided, hey, let's do something.
Yeah, we our third co-founder, Thomas, he's actually in Atlanta right now. He came to Riley with the idea. They met at business class, and then he talked about it. And Riley was like, I know Gordon really loves gaming as well. And both of us talked about it for like months about how we want to do a startup together. So it's like, this is perfect. We can link up and it started as a side project, but now like everyone's full time and we're traveling to conventions, and it's just an awesome experience.
So yeah, you said you guys essentially you met at the beginning of college, and you kind of started forming this idea around your senior year. So then how long has this been, would you say, in the works? How long has this been in the works versus how long have you been full-time with?
Yeah.
So it's been in the works for about 1.5 years now.
Okay.
And then full-time, I guess, we've all been full-time a little bit different lengths of time.
Sure.
I actually went to Amazon as a software engineer for a couple months right after I graduated. But Gordon actually had an extra semester of college after me. He graduated a couple months after me, and so he continued to work on it. So he's been. How long have you been full time now, Gordon?
I think pretty much so backing even further back, we started Shotcall as like I said, it was just an idea, and then we realized we all really loved it. So what Riley and I did was we quit all of our classes and just dropped all of our classes before the semester started, and we actually just did Shotcall full time while we were still in school, which was an awesome experience. But then Riley graduated that summer, whereas I took another semester. So I graduated December 2018, and then I had a full-time offer with Amazon lined up. I had a full-time offer lined up with Amazon, but I kept working on Shotcall, and then my start date came up, and I was like, kind of have an extra month, and Amazon let me push it back another month. And it happened a couple of times to the point where I was just like, I obviously don't want to really go to Amazon, so I decided just to drop my offer and pursue Shotcall full time. That was in April 2019. But so I've been pretty much doing Shotcall full time for the past 1.5 years, just school, other than like school.
Yeah, and then after I quit Amazon a couple months after Gordon told them that he wasn't coming at all. So I guess I've been full time. I was full time for like the first maybe 7 or 8 months of the company's existence, and then I've been full time for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it about this idea that you guys like really appealed to you guys? This whole idea of bringing fans and content creators together. What is it about that pulled you in? That made it seem like this is the thing we want to pursue.
No, of course. Yeah. So I've been just like a super big gamer my whole life. I started with this game called Maple Story. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but that was when I was like 8 or 9.
Ago.
And I played that game like religiously. And then, then I got into Call of Duty. Then I got into like CS:GO and a bunch of other MMOs, League of Legends, Fortnite.
I'm trying to map out in my brain like from Maple Story to Call of Duty. That is like a transition.
Yeah.
It was because 7th grade was kind of like the time where I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a quick scoper. I'm on over 2, and like, the disputes were settled on Rust 1v1 quick scoping. But but so I played all these different phases of games, but the one thing that like remained consistent and constant throughout all those like years was content. From watching like Hutch and CNAtors back in the Modern Warfare 2 days to watching my favorite streamers like I'm a Cutie Pie and Double Lift, and my Fortnite streamers like Nate Hill, Tifo, etc. I always watch content, so I thought like I watch these content creators because I like them as people. Obviously, they're entertaining, but also I wouldn't be watching them if I didn't play the same games that they play. So I was like, instead of just watching them, what if I had a chance to actually like get in a game and play alongside of them?
For me, I grew up with. I was more of a Halo fan, so I played a lot of Halo, and then I actually played Halo Wars for a while because I really like RTS games when that came out. And the way that I got better at both the FPS version of Halo and Halo Wars was I'd get into, I'd be matched in a game with some of these people that I would see on YouTube, and I'd message them after the game, and I'd literally just ask to play with them. And so but it was a very informal way of getting in game with these people. And sometimes they'd be like, I can't do that. A lot of times, actually, they'd be like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, I don't get a lot of people that are just trying to get better at the game. And so I think for me, it was just, creating a tool to help other people that are interested in playing with these kind of top tier individuals.
Not even just getting better, I guess. When I was big in the league, one of my favorite content creators, her name is KP. I actually got in a game with her, luckily, somehow once, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I was like, now what if we are able to bring this to fans of any content creator out there? And that's kind of like where the idea spawned.
Okay, cool. So you have this idea, because I mean, a large part of how like the content creation kind of thing works. You always see people hop into people's channels into there, and it's always the question of, hey, can I play with you? Can I hook up with you? That kind of stuff is always the most like common thing. Justin, you have a question?
No.
Oh, I literally wrote a question. I wrote a question into the document in full cast where Justin asked this.
No, but
sorry. I'm so dazed right now from work and stuff. So
all good.
I probably should have told you don't do this. But yes, I do have a question actually. Since
wow,
we have full transparency now.
Nice.
But actually, I'm not going with that one. When did you decide this is the thing you want to do? This is where you want to go all in on?
Pretty much from like day one, I guess. Like I said, we dropped all of our classes that one semester, and we worked out of this like startup area, co-working space called Tech Square Labs, back in Atlanta near Georgia Tech, and it was just like such an inspiring place to be, just being around a bunch of like other entrepreneurs, especially most of them were college students too. So it wasn't even just that the fact that I love gaming and love Shotcall, it was just the fact of being able to build something for other people on my own terms was really kind of what stood out to me.
Cool. So what I would kind of want to get into is how exactly does your service work? Because, I spent a little time last couple of days, and actually when we first scheduled as well, just kind of looking at the site and trying to familiarize myself. But for people trying to explore it, how does it work?
Sure. So basically, content creators or influencers can go on our platform, and they can create what we call sessions. And A session is basically an instance where they are saying, I'm interested in playing or chatting with my fans. And they basically set the time that's going to happen. They set the game, the platform. They can set a price if they want to monetize it, and then the number of people they're willing to play with. And then fans of those individuals can go on and sign up or request to play in this session. And we try to offer a lot of flexibility. So if you're a creator, you can go ahead and say, I'm going to create a session. I want the session to recur every single week, or these days. We allow for a couple different types of sessions. So one of our most popular is a queue session.
Okay.
So rather than restrict the number of people that can play, we say, hey, we're just going to have a queue lined up, and every so often the host will switch out that group, and you'll get a notification for when it's your turn or when it's about to be your turn, and you guys just kind of go in and play and have fun.
Yeah,
makes sense. I mean, just because some streamers, some content creators have their either have your weekly community nights. Or your community nights, your squad up nights, those kind of things, or you just have the, well, shit, you know what? Let's just I know I'm gonna have free time tonight. Let's just organize something.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned monetizing it. So it's a streamer's choice to do that. Like you monetize, not monetize.
Yeah.
Okay. With the monetization aspect of it, just like that was one of the things I was most curious about reading the site. Do Shotcall take a percentage of that, or is that purely for the streamer? How does that process work?
Yeah, so there are a couple ways to monetize through Shotcall, through the sessions. So we have a raffle where it's pretty much exactly how it sounds. It's a raffle where you can buy X amount of entries and then when the raffle is drawn, like we draw people to play with their content creator. Or we have an auction, which is pretty much the highest bidder wins. And so there's a lot of ways to monetize off the sessions, and Shotcall takes like a very small percentage overhead off the commission. And that's how the monetization works, where the vast majority goes to the content creator.
Awesome.
Also, we allow fans, I think some content creators are kind of hesitant about saying like, oh, you have to pay to play with me.
Yeah, and understandably so.
Because they don't want to come off that, they don't want to come off that way. So we also allow fans to tip content creators too. So a content creator could be like, hey, we're going to do a free session, and we have, a place where these fans can go and tip these content creators, but that's all optional.
Yeah, we also we do it like the vice versa way too, where instead of a content creator having to create a session for their fans to join, a fan can go onto a content creator's profile page and click request a one-on-one session. So instead of me donating $30 to Tfue or something, I could go to Tfue and say, hey, I have $30 to play an hour with you, or I have $50 to play an hour with you, and all these requests get shown on the streamer's his personal page, and he can just go and just I have free time. This guy's offering me a good amount of money. Let me play with this guy here, and just click accept, and we connect them that way too.
Okay, so then for the content creator, for the streamer, is there any charge to use the Shotcall service?
Nope,
absolutely free.
It's completely free.
And okay, so I mean that's obviously very good, very easy access.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just like trying to be like a way for fans to connect with the content creators. It's not all about the money. Actually, I'd say 90% or more of our sessions are free sessions, because it's just content creators wanting to connect with their fans in a different way, to make it easier than just using it in like Mix It Up or a Twitch bot.
It seems like you're just pretty much making like a safe place for everybody to gather to a mutual ground. And
yeah, exactly.
Because like with content creators trying to play games with the viewers and stuff like that, like I know it's just a match, like people just like send crazy invites and hope they see it, or try to do a tip and hopefully they'll do it. So yeah, I definitely like the idea here. It's like, it's just, hey, here's a nice organized way. Enter in here. We can set everything up, make it nice and clean.
Yeah, exactly.
I dig it.
Yeah, that's kind of that's our goal, is to make the process as streamlined as possible. Because we know it's something that both parties are interested in. It's just difficult to do right now.
Yeah, because no. Are you just talking to someone else?
I thought I heard something. Just go ahead.
This is a weird joke.
No,
yeah. I keep having these sound glitches is the problem. I keep thinking people are saying stuff.
Oh, got you.
All good.
One other thing I'll add in is so our platform is our site is platform agnostic, meaning we'll work with Twitch, Mixer, YouTube,
Instagram Live,
Instagram Live, anything you want.
Yeah, anything.
So there are some extensions like Gordon mentioned, Mix It Up, right? But those only work with Mixer.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So the nice thing about having a decentralized platform like Shotcall is it works with whatever you want it to work with, really.
Yeah, I mean, that way it makes sense, yeah, because instead of just going through the bots or going through those different kind of things, if it's just your own platform that just spreads out to whatever streaming platform people are using, it's just efficient.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't restrict anyone. So what would you say, guys, because, you're still pretty early on with this, what would you say your goals or aspirations are for Shotcall, moving to next year, the future, etc.?
Yeah, so I think one thing that one of our advisors told us that really, really resonated with me is that Shotcall is going to be a destination for gaming, not just a tool that streamers use. And that resounded with me because there's so many different ways that Shotcall can be used. For example, just to list off a few, Shotcall has very, very big potential to be used with charity. Because esports is so mainstream now. We can target these big icons that don't have anything to do with gaming, but game themselves. So you have people like Drake, Marshmallow, etc., Juju Smith playing. We can hopefully raise money because fans will pay so much money to play with their favorite icons. And what if we can use this money for good cause? So we have stuff for charity. We have stuff for game developers. We're not game developers can use Shotcall to get their games not only in the hands of content creators to promote, but have the content creators play with their fans to get the games in the hands of the fans as well. So like I said, it's not just a tool to connect content creators or fans. There's so many different ways that it can be used that we want it to be a destination that all gamers, brands, orgs go to.
So you're developing this kind of destination, this hub of sorts, so people can come in. So just the idea you said with game developers, they, game dev. I'm just being hypothetical here, but you could say if I'm on track, game developer comes in. I have this big multiplayer friendly kind of game. Can I put keys on here and you throw out all the information so that the content creator can see how many people they can play with, what the squads are, what have you, and then it's just can just request keys for themselves and their community kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
basically.
Instead of promoting a game by just playing it and talking about it on a YouTube video, what if you now have the chance to get in game directly with your fans and play alongside of them? That's a different way of promotion.
It's like the next kind of level of giveaways where it's not just you bring some of your core audience, your core fans in, and essentially you bring them all in for a predetermined fun experience because it's you and your community. You have this fun experience right off the bat. So you just, instead of creating a single streamer, a single content creator as your evangelist for the game, you've now just created them and whatever the size of their squad is.
Exactly.
And then it just spreads even further. I mean, it's a good marketing platform, good marketing tool.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have this tool for the future, this tool building outward for people. Where do you see, not just your own platform, but where do you see then streaming and content creation building? I want to talk to you guys about TwitchCon, which just happened last weekend. But before we get into that, just where do you, from your time in the industry, your time as both gamers and on this industry side, see streaming going? Moving into the next year plus.
Yeah, that's a good question. So TwitchCon was just the nuttiest experience for us.
I imagine.
We just met not only so many streamers and awesome streamers, but just everyone just has their vision for streaming in the future. So I'm excited to see where kind of gaming is gonna go. Because I know competitive esports is kind of blowing up right now with Fortnite and the World Cup and everything. So is that going to be the direction that esports is going towards? Because you see these quote unquote real sports athletic teams starting to invest in big esports team themselves. So I'm interested to see if it goes more towards the content entertainment direction, or if it goes more towards the competitive.
I would say I think you're going to continue to see more power being put in the hands of individuals. I think it used to be kind of brands or orgs had a lot of influence over gamers, and you're seeing now like Tfue just sued FaZe, right, for basically having more control over him than he wants. So I think as these names get bigger and bigger, like Ninja with Fortnite and Tfue with Fortnite as well, I think you'll see kind of a shift towards power being in the hands of the individual creators.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not even just Ninja with Fortnite; it's Ninja with his aspirations to be the Michael Jordan of gaming, that's right. I mean, it's an interesting aspiration.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting there.
I mean, you can't argue. Hey, you can't argue with goals, and you can't argue with that side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think his switch to Mixer kind of highlighted that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
he has a lot of autonomy, right? He runs his own business, and he's doing it very successsussly.
Yeah. Ninja is a brand, so
yeah. Ninja's proof that you can be an individual can be a brand. Ninja is, regardless of your opinions of him as a person or anything like that. He's proof that, because the whole belief was that he was Twitch, and that the Mixer move would completely kill him and destroy his thing. And he's completely proven that he is he's autonomous from Mixer itself, even though he streams on Mixer. Mixer is literally just where you watch him stream. It has not a lot to do with him necessarily.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good way of explaining. I think you're going to see more and more people that kind of gain that power, where people are watching them. They don't really care where they are streaming or what they're doing. It's the individual.
Yeah, one thing I've been thinking about lately, because I ask these questions to pretty much most anyone who comes on the show who has some connection to esports streaming, what have you. And the kind of the thing I've formulated over like the last few months is I'm starting to feel like we're going to still have Twitch, we're going to have Mixer, we're going to have Facebook Gaming, and whatever other stuff is still around or popping up, because there's always going to be a new platform. We're going to always have these, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of ninja.gg.com, whatever, and we're going to see a lot more of where it is just their brand. It's just coincidentally they might be on that platform that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that, but yeah, I mean, that would be interesting.
At least for the bigger names, at least for the bigger organizations, perhaps, that they're going to be on their own things. And maybe they're streaming through Twitch. Maybe they're streaming through Mixer. Maybe it's like a television network kind of thing, almost. Like that's their exclusivity agreement for X amount of time. That's their platform. But in 6 months, they're, maybe they're not going to be a Mixer. Maybe they're not going to be a Twitch. Or maybe they're not going to be anywhere. Maybe you just go to their website and it's just they've developed their own tools.
Yeah, I mean, at scale, that works very well. I know this is kind of a different example, but
I'll take it.
It's kind of like, Netflix was paying for all of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point they just realized, hey, look, it's more efficient and we're going to make 100% of the money if we just do that ourselves. And they did, and it was very successful. And so for someone with that kind of scale to say, hey, look, I'm just going to do this myself. And so now I'm going to make 100% of the money.
Yep.
If you're big enough and you have that brand, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea.
Well, I mean, just like shifting onto the gaming side of things, something I just saw today, I always forget his real name, but the Concerned Ape, the guy behind the developer of Stardew Valley, announced that he now has the publishing rights to Stardew Valley on Switch, which means he has the publishing rights for the game on every platform other than mobile. And it's like that same kind of thing. That's one of the biggest, games, indie games. It's pretty much the biggest indie game ever. One of the biggest games. And this guy now has 100% publishing rights because he just decided, you know what, I've made enough money off of this with my previous deals. I'm just going to control everything.
Yeah.
Because there's if you're big enough to do that, then it's a why not almost.
Yeah.
Anything. Why not accrue all the profits?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And when you can vertically integrate something like that,
Well, then if you do need help on something, you contract out. If you to then it's just your money. You contract out, hey, I need to build a website in the case of a streamer, or hey, I need art done. It's, you know, it's essentially what streamers are already doing, but just to, like, you know, just a different meta, a different, you know, almost a macro level.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting, the development of the potential development of the content creator space and streaming space. Welcome to the journey my brain went on, because that wasn't everything I said was live action as I was thinking.
No, that's it's a good conversation.
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely interesting, because I never thought about that, because I mean, to be honest, like, talk to me like 6 months ago, and I would say I would have said, like, no one is ever gonna, in the foreseeable future, no one's gonna, like, compete with Twitch. But then Ninja just, like, blew everyone's minds and switched to Mixer, and now, like, the whole kind of, like, shift kind of, it's obviously Twitch is still the biggest, but
and will be for a while.
But we went to TwitchCon, and they were like, and we met like a ton of Mixer streamers there, and just like the whole community's coming together, and like it's definitely not anyone's game, but I could totally see like a Ninja making his own Ninja.tv or something.
I don't have the exact quote offhand, but this person, Captain Robert, who is a Mixer streamer, was at TwitchCon, and after the event made this comment, politely commenting on the people from Facebook Gaming and Mixer, like the streamers who were like, I'm not going to go to TwitchCon. Why would I go to TwitchCon? And it's like, and his, you know, comment essentially was, because this is where people go. It's not, it might be Twitch in name, it might be Twitch in their what they're discussing, but it's for me, I literally discovered Mixer at TwitchCon 2017 and moved my entire business over after meeting a Mixer streamer. Essentially there. You know, I knew a Mixer streamer beforehand, and then I met another Mixer streamer there, and like those two combined forces in my brain led to me exploring this platform. And it's we're reaching a point which I think finally gaming itself has reached with the console stuff and PC stuff, where it's just like, do your stuff where you do your stuff. There might be exclusives here, there might be stuff over there, but do what makes sense for you and your audience and what have you, and go to whatever events you can afford to go to, because you never know what opportunities are going to arise.
Yes. So first of all, we know Robert pretty well. He's an awesome dude, and that's totally something that like kind of resounds with us too. It's just like, yes, these conventions, we're new to it, obviously, but just going to the past couple, we've met so many like just awesome people. Yeah. Whether they're Mixer or Twitch, doesn't really matter to us, as long as like, because at the end of the day, we're all in the same gaming community, you know. So
yeah, I mean, and also just again, purely on the content creator thing, it's the thing, I've been in this business now for 7.5 years, and don't put all of your business in one basket. Look at YouTube, look at the shit show of that, look at what has happened with Twitch here and there. Even Mixer's had its issues in its infancy and stuff like that. Every platform eventually, or at one point or another, has issues, whether it's with monetization, whether it's with autonomy, whether it's with people doing stuff. So it's your best.
Like that too. It's like you hop on any platform, be it YouTube, Mixer, Twitch, you are hopping on something that's not yours. Just like they give you the land, but you farm it. Nothing on your page you actually own. And proof of that was actually with Ninja, where he just kind of took his stuff and, well, they had a good fiasco with that page, too.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was a
so I mean, I would say, you know, come check out Shotcall. It's another way. Well, you say don't put all your if you say, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, I absolutely agree. And there are plenty of ways for streamers now to add, you know, revenue streams, and playing with your fans is absolutely one of them. You know, you have an issue like Ninja did with Twitch. You have an issue where one of these platforms is banning you for something that may or may not really be your fault. You can still make money because you are someone that people are interested in interacting with. And so, you know, playing with your fans is one of the best ways to interact with those individuals. And one of the best ways to make money.
I mean, bravo, honestly, on the pitch and that you're bringing it back. No, like, sincerely, that was
always
nice.
Be selling.
No,
you were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the big reasons why people are interested in using Shotcall is because they realize I think streamers are starting to realize more and more, like, you know, hey, people are not coming to Twitch for Twitch; they're coming for me. You know, shouldn't I have more power? And they're, you know, they're starting to say, hey, you know, okay, now that I realize people are coming for me and what I bring, how can I leverage that? So, you know, that's one of the awesome things about what playing with your fans can do for you.
Agreed, absolutely. So let's talk, though. We've kind of like danced around a little bit. Let's talk TwitchCon. That was this past weekend. What was your guys' experience like? Because most of what I know is I know you guys were there. I know you were working with our mutual friend Kevin on some stuff. Did you have a booth, or were you free roaming, or just doing meetings?
So we didn't have a booth because we realized that a lot of the people we want to talk to were the people running the booths as well.
Sure.
So, you know, walking the floor was awesome. You know, we would just see people that we recognize from other conventions. But yeah, it was mostly just our days are filled up with meetings after meetings after meetings. And then our nights were just hanging out with as many people as possible. Most of it was with Kevin, who introduced us to like so many awesome people. So
Kevin's good for that.
We definitely, I think the earliest we slept all weekend was like, well, we got there Wednesday. We slept at like 11:30 p.m. And then since then, it was like, I think the earliest was like 3 or 3:30 a.m. for us. So it was the best time. The best time to meet people and talk to people is at these, you know, after parties, because people are just more relaxed. I mean, you can have a real conversation with them. You don't have to feel like you're, I guess, constrained to talking about business and. You can get into some really interesting conversations with people. Definitely.
We were actually fortunate enough to host or co-sponsor one of the parties. We co-sponsored After Dark on is it Saturday night, Gordon?
That was Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah. And I mean, we just had so many awesome conversations with people. You know, like, hey, you want to go grab a drink? Sure, let's do it. Just start talking, and you never know what's going to happen.
What I always say to like young content creators, young business people, anyone, this is any industry, that has nothing to do with gaming industry, but it's very true in the gaming industry especially, meetings are all good when you're on the show floor or, you know, somewhere around the show floor. They're all good and grand and stuff, but the best the choices you will ever make, you might want to you know, spend time out with your friends and stuff like that and do those kind of things, but find out where the hotel bar is that the industry goes to. Find out where the good parties. Don't go there specifically to schmooze people. Never fucking do that.
No, of course. Yeah.
Never.
I mean, we met you at Elephant and Castle.
I mean, that was because that was the bar to be at on was it Monday night of PAX. That was literally the place to be, and it was nice definitely. And chill. There was no, you know, Kevin pulled me over for you know, a business reason, essentially a podcasting, but that was not the reason I came over. It's like, you guys are fun to chat with.
Yeah, definitely.
We talked for a while. I went, you know, but I made my way also around that room during the night, and I talked to a bunch of people, and I left with like, all right, I got some podcast guests. I've got some potential new people to be friends with. I maybe got, you know, job opportunities, and that's how you leave those experiences, because it's like it's also you've hooked up with human beings, not with notches on your metrics.
Yeah, it's a blast for sure. I don't know if you know Shane, who's with Omen Elite, but you know, we've gone out with him. We've kind of hung out with him and like threw down with him so many times. And it was the last night of TwitchCon when we kind of like when we were both about to leave. I looked at him. I was like, you know, we've gone out like every night, and I have yet to talk to you about Shotcall, and you have yet to talk to me about Omen Elite. Like, we've just been like just chilling and like talking about everything else. And it's just those connections too. Like, not everything's about business. Just like connecting with people is awesome, because business is like it comes with being friends with people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're friends with people for long enough, I mean, they're gonna hear about your stuff. You're gonna talk about your stuff. So it's just like, if the opportunity arises as something, but I've always said, like, I would rather be friendly with people, and I'd rather get to know people than I'd ever want to promote necessarily my podcast or my personal brand, or
absolutely.
You know, pitch them for a job opportunity or something like that. It's just like, I like people. It's a lot more fun getting to know people and getting to learn about them.
For sure.
Nightlife.
Well, I mean, I'd argue that, you know, having a great podcast is a byproduct of, you getting to know people. It just kind of, when people like you and you're willing to take the time to kind of get to know the person, that just kind of naturally flows. And sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times, you get those opportunities that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And I used to work in an incubator, startup incubator, and I saw, a lot of startups that succeeded and a lot of them that didn't. And I think one thing that kind of was consistent across the board was that the companies that spent time developing relationships with other people rather than just pitching nonstop, because it's really easy to do as a startup, in the limit, did a lot better than the companies that were kind of just like, you are able to provide me X, and all I care about is getting to X.
Yeah, definitely.
How quickly can I get that out of you?
That makes sense. I mean, I did a panel at DreamHack Austin last year. I think for a second, DreamHack Austin last year, that was all for content creators, and the primary thing was how to talk to PR as a content creator. But it kind of evolved as the talk went on into just networking. And the main thing I said to people is the key to networking is not to network.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why networking is a dirty word. It's essential and it's useful. It's vital. It's literally how human beings communicate. But like the key to it is everyone's a human being. Everyone has their own goals and aims, and there's no need to just start a conversation with what your goals and aims are.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's human. And we all got our own shit to talk about, so do it.
Yeah.
Meet people, and the worst thing I've ever seen at events is people who just like, I want to work with X, I'm going to go up to them, and and sometimes it works. That strategy can work, but also sometimes you end in a situation where like, wait, why am I working with X? I have not learned anything about them. Oh shit, I knew nothing about this company. This doesn't match me at all. This doesn't make sense. So
definitely
take your time, learn about people. It's the best. But anything else cool happened with your experiences with TwitchCon or with the weekend?
I think just TwitchCon was by far the biggest convention we've been to, and I've harped on this a lot previously, but I think the coolest thing was just seeing how connected the gaming community is. Like, you walk around and just everyone knows each other.
It's amazing.
And then the streamers, so I got to meet a few of my favorite streamers, and they were just like the coolest people. Like, you would expect them to be tired of like fans going up to them and stuff, but like one of them in particular, Poach on Team Liquid, literally he was in line with someone and with his friend, and he had bags in his hand. I came up, I was like, sorry, I don't mean to like interrupt you, but like I'm a huge fan. Would you take a picture with me? He literally like dropped his bags, stepped out of line, and was like, yeah, let's do it. And like just stuff like that was really cool. Like, you know, like go up to each other and like give each other hugs, because they were literally meeting in person for the first time, but they've known each other for years through streaming and gaming. So I don't know, that was a pretty surreal thing to see.
That's one thing I liked about TwitchCon. I've only been there once, back in 2017. One thing I liked about the event versus other events, I love PAX and loads of other events, but because of the community focus of TwitchCon, it's almost like the old effect. You don't really see as much anymore in this like new world, but when people, you just at the airport be waiting to like pick somebody up at the airport and stuff like that, and you would just see all the different families. Like, it would usually be like, the dad who's been off at his job and hasn't seen his kids in weeks, or the husband and wife, or like those kind of things, or the partners and stuff like that. It'd be like a lot of those kind of things, but it'll also be friends who've never met each other before, like who's been pen pals for years, like that, just that old mentality. And that's kind of what TwitchCon is, except blown up by tens of thousands of people kind of thing, because it's communities who've never met each other, it's streamers who've never met the streamers or something like that, and like all these other things. And it's, for how toxic this like sometimes how toxic gaming communities, streaming communities can be, TwitchCon can be a really wholesome as hell place. And it's nice. So it's something I definitely I've always appreciated. So speaking of wholesome, At some point I said I was gonna derail the show. I gotta go into just a quick wholesome moment because that's what I do in Constantly Calibrating. We do I haven't done it in a couple of weeks now, but we do a wholesome moment of the week, and I just want to throw out that after years of crippling fear of everything, dark, sleeping outside, bugs, insects, all that stuff, actually went camping for 2 nights. And
wow.
I'm very happy with that, and only fucked up my neck really badly.
Where'd you go camping?
About an hour and a half northeast of Payson, Arizona. I don't remember the exact campsite. It was national forest, but this gorgeous place. And yeah, just totally picturesque, scenic thing. Wife and I spent money we did not have on a tent and all his equipment. Her brother's been doing stuff for a long time with his wife and kids for like the last year or so. They got super into it, and then my in-laws rented an RV.
Nice. So it was a big group.
So yeah, about including the kids, 9 people, something about that.
It's not too big, yeah.
Decent size.
My favorite thing about camping is eating a bunch of junk food. I don't know if you got to do any of the hot dogs, hamburgers, s'mores.
We did hot dog and sausages. Sausages. We did classic s'mores and stuff like that because my oldest has never seen s'mores before except for like s'mores Oreos.
Oh really?
Wow.
We have a fireplace, but it's like in our house, but it's dead center in the middle of the room, and it's kind of a death trap for children. So we barricaded it. So
I gotcha.
He's never done the proper s'mores, so we got to do all that kind of stuff. And then my favorite thing was starting a campfire.
Absolutely.
And making food on it, and then it was just like, we make chicken like these like kebab kind of style things, and just it was taking an hour because it was the sheer amount of food, but you're just grazing for an hour straight of just meat and random vegetables and stuff like that, and you're like, then you're laying in the tent that night and you're like, I think I ate like 6,000 calories today.
But it doesn't matter because you're camping.
Yeah, it's camping, and I'm gonna go hiking up a mountain tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
Especially with goldfish. If you give me gold, I've gone camping a few times with my friends this past summer, and like every single time we make sure we get like one of those big boxes of goldfish, and we just sit there just like try to do creative ways of throwing it into each other's mouths and stuff. Camping is definitely like a great bonding experience too. That's my favorite part of it.
Also,
I was like snack wise, I was super into my brother-in-law brought Sun Chips garden salsa ones, which is just the best like potato chip-esque thing ever, and I ate an entire bag before I realized it. Okay, either way.
Oh, I was gonna say peanut butter on s'mores.
Yeah,
try it if you haven't tried it before.
Long ago did that. Yes,
people hate on it, and it's really good.
Okay, here's actually a s'mores question. We're completely on a side thing. Here's a s'mores question for you. Marshmallows, burnt, gooey, or hard?
Burnt, absolutely burnt.
It has to be.
Wait, hard?
Like my brother-in-law's friend likes to put it in the fire for like a second, so it just gently hardens the outside, but it's still like a cold marshmallow, pretty much.
I'm a big fan of toasted.
Yes,
toasted.
Like a little brown.
Have you ever had the toasted marshmallow Jelly Bellies? That's the best flavor.
Okay, yeah, no, I've not done that.
It's really good.
No, the best thing is put it in the fire until it burns, and you take it out and you watch the fire, and then you blow the fire out and you immediately just put it onto the graham cracker. Because like for some, when marshmallows burn, you don't get that burnt taste. It just becomes crispy on the outside. That's why I just burned the hell out of it.
You can't do cold though, because the thing is, the point of the marshmallow is to melt the chocolate.
Melt the chocolate.
So if you have
an adhesive,
and exactly, and get and glue the graham crackers together. So if the marshmallow is the most important part of the s'more, if you mess up the marshmallow, everything else is just.
If you want a marshmallow hack, this is what you do. Instead of graham crackers, use 2 Oreos. Instead of the chocolate, use a Reese's cup, and then use a marshmallow.
This is like fourth dimensional chess we're playing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Snack food.
No, definitely eating's one of the best parts about camping. Last time we went camping, it was for Riley's birthday. This was a couple months ago. And me and my other roommate were doing keto. So with keto, you can't eat carbs.
Keto and camping is not good.
Yeah. So literally, I was just sitting there and I had like just deli meat, turkey, and like just cheese, and that's like literally and peanut butter. That's literally all I ate the whole time. It was pretty awful.
I went through
it must have been like 3 pounds of peanut butter in those few days.
Yeah.
That does not. No, that sounds like not fun at all.
Well, it depends how much you like peanut butter.
Yeah.
I was
oh
like,
my gosh.
I was like, hey, all right, Gordon, you want me to make? I'll make you a hot dog. I'll put it on a bun. He was like, sorry, I can't eat the bun. And it was like, all right, you can just eat it. Here's the stick then that I was just cooking it on. Here, just go eat it like a kebab.
I mean, you do what you do. I mean,
it was a rough weekend. Yeah,
you got to make it work.
Oh.
That's awesome. I'm glad that I hijacked the conversation with a personal story that actually led to conversation.
Yeah.
I always appreciate that.
The worst part about being keto on that trip was since there were 15 of us, it was a big group, and we were all sitting around this big campfire, and everyone's just like chowing down on s'mores and goldfish and stuff. And me and my roommate were literally just sitting there. He was eating spinach out of a bag, and I was eating a piece of string cheese, and I was like, this is the worst. And everyone has like s'mores, like marshmallow, like all on their faces, and like chocolate dripping down their fingers. And I'm like, this is just, I hate you all.
That is just, I'm legitimately saddened for you.
Yeah.
That experience. Like that sucks.
But the willpower kept us going, so I was surprised we made it through.
I mean, more power to you. Like, legitimately, more power to you to make it through that, because I don't know if I could do that at all.
You're stronger man than me. Like, I would have gave up and like, just give me that s'more and just dump it in my mouth, man.
Just snatch it.
I would have been like, yeah, man. You and me were in this the whole weekend, and then as soon as my friend walked away, I'd be like, all right, give me that. I gotta take some here.
It's like a cheat weekend, right? Like that's a whole weekend of cheating is a thing on.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, so appreciate getting the chance to chat with you guys and talk about a bunch of different topics and things.
Yeah, definitely.
So anything else? Just getting back to it. Anything else about Shotcall that you feel people need to know? They need to know at the end of this show.
Yeah. I think it's. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh. I was just gonna. I would just say that we're just trying to create a platform that gamers love.
Yeah,
and we're gamers ourselves too. I mean, that's why we created this.
Yeah, I literally got off Fortnite like 20 minutes before you texted me. So, but yeah. So I know we talked a lot about monetization, all this other stuff, but at the end of the day, the reason why Shotcall happened in the first place was because we started seeing viewer games and sub games start popping up on Twitch, and we would go into them and the chat would just be flooded. So I was like, okay, so how are they actually getting into the game? So I asked these content creators, how are you doing it? And it was cool. It was wild. They're like, we'll ask in stream, does anyone want to play? And then obviously if with someone with like a huge following, they're gonna get flooded with requests. And then there's going to be this jackass who's going to say, pick me like 80,000 times. So you have to filter through all of those guys and choose individual ones. And hopefully they're still in stream. If they're still in stream, you got to get their Discord so you can talk to them. Yeah. And then if they somehow are able to connect Discords, then they have to find a way to connect with IGNs. And all at the same time, your stream's going on. Whereas Shotcall makes it super easy, just like streamlined to play with each other. Not even, aside from the money. Like, we have streamers using Shotcall just because it's that easy. You have a queue setup with Fortnite. Shout out to Cheng Wangs. He's the one who helped us build it out, but and test it and stuff. But he plays viewer games where he just plays squads with his fans, and he just has 3 fans in that are displayed on Shotcall. He has all their IGNs. He clicks next. The next 3 get text notifications, Shotcall notifications, email notifications, and he has all their IGNs. They come in and he keeps rotating them out. So it's just try to make it an easy way and put the power back in the hands of content creators to play with their fans.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anything that streamlines the streaming experience is a good thing, because what I think a lot of people who don't do streaming or have not gotten deep into this kind of thing, the amount of bells and whistles, the amount of things, like the amount of plates you're essentially spinning, constantly trying to get stuff to make sense.
Yeah.
Between whatever your streaming things, whether OBS or whatever, all of your add-ons, all of your plugins, all of your scenes, all of your different stuff, all of the different bots and things like that, anything that just lets you just get to it. And I want to play with my community, cool, done. You know,
exactly.
Like, you just set some stuff up ahead of time, and boom, you're golden.
Yeah, no. So that's definitely like we're new to it too. Like I said, I graduated last December 2018.
Youth.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep doing that. Sorry.
we're super young and just like kind of hungry to make something cool, which is why these conventions we make so many new friends, because everyone is in the same position where we're all just trying to build something cooler for the gaming community.
I mean, again, more power to you guys. So for anyone who wants to find Shotcall or find you guys online, find out more information, plug whatever.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Our Twitter is ShotcallGG. Our Facebook is ShotcallGG. And then our website is shotcall.gg if you want to go sign up and just check it out. And then we have a few updates coming up that are super exciting. So stay tuned for those. Follow us on Twitter and we'll keep you guys updated on that. Also, I got kind of inspired this past TwitchCon. I realized that I hadn't touched the video game in like months because I just been so busy with Shotcall. So I was like, if I'm building something for gamers because I love gaming, I want to get back into gaming, which is why I started playing Fortnite again yesterday. Shotcall is going to start having a stream where we just play games with other content creators, other fans, etc. Because we want to be we want to start gaming again. Like even if it means a couple hours less sleep, like I want a game to. That's why I built it. You know.
I mean, it makes sense. If you're trying to build something to grow other people's communities, may as well grow your own and continue, like a dirty word network and stuff like that, and meet people and learn by people. No, it's awesome. I think it's a great way to go.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having us.
Absolutely, to talk about Shotcall. As far as
marshmallows.
Shotcall, marshmallows, camping. I mean, that was. Yeah. I wrote in the document, didn't think that would be the covers. But yeah, so for us, as far as we go, thank you all for joining us this week. The Constantly Calibrating podcast is live every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on mixer.com/ConCalPod. On next week's show, 302, we have Aaron Lind of DreamHack going to be joining us to talk about DreamHack awesome and a lot. He's an awesome guy. To be honest, I was yesterday thinking to myself on Twitter, aloud, like kind of like I need to get some guests and something like that. And then Kevin works with us to get guest stuff together. And suddenly we were already texting about something else. And he's like, hold on a second. And he's like, do you have a link? And I sent him the Calendly link, scheduling link. And then just suddenly people just started like popping up. All of a sudden my calendar just started popping up, filling. I'm like, oh shit, okay, we cool, we have guests now. I guess I don't need to reach out to anyone. So it's wonderful. We actually are, I think, booked November for
awesome.
Wow,
nice.
So that doesn't usually happen, so it's awesome. So yeah, Aaron Lind will be on the show next week, again, right here, mixer.com/ConCalPod. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/Constantly Calibrating. Twitter's at ConCalPod. I'm at Bear Punch. Justin is at Justin _. That's the second or third week in a row I've done that. At Justin _glorious.
It doesn't matter. I've been slurring things, barely awake as it is. Man.
Yeah, no,
my life, dude.
I got con plague right now, so I feel you.
I have camping plague or whatever the hell. My nephew got everyone sick because he decided to just open mouth sneeze on breakfast one morning.
Oh no!
Nice. Children, yay!
Wait, did y'all do that? Shrug and eat it anyways, or?
No, it was a case of it didn't process for anyone what had happened. Oh. And then it was like after the fact, wait, did Elle just wait? Shit, kind of experience. No, it's just you're sleep deprived kind of thing after a couple of days taking care of kids in the woods, and it's like okay, you miss some things. But yeah, check Instagram at instagram.com/constantcalibrating. Come chat with us on Discord at constantcalibrating.com/discord. Eventually I will have time to make it all pretty like. I'll never have time to do that. Please make sure to leave us a review wherever you are able to, primarily iTunes. It really does help get the podcast in front of more listeners, more viewers, and all of that fun stuff. iTunes is the best for that. constantlycalibrating.com/cc iTunes. And with that, we bid you all a good sign off.